Today, I want to cover a very cool topic that I think is really important for a beginner, for someone that just heard about crypto somehow, or you're just now interested in getting involved. So, I want to take you through a step by step process of where I think virtually anyone should start, where I started forever ago. And I think it would be a really good lesson for you all. For those who do not know, before I get into it, my name is Jake Tullis. I go by JT. I am a hedge fund manager. I own and operate an exclusive crypto or digital asset hedge fund out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I specialize in discretionarily long fund management, so fundamental research and being long term on the assets that I invest in, because we do not trade here, we invest. You come to this channel for information about assets at a fundamental level, to observe the research that I just document for you all, agnostically. I do not give financial advice, never will. And ultimately, just to learn more. My handle's JT Knows Things because I take pride in the information I've acquired in this journey, and I want to give that information to you guys so you can make better decisions for your family. And that's why you're here and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, with that, I'm just going to literally start from zero. I mean, I'm going to assume I know nothing, and I want to walk you through the basic stuff that you can do to do your own research. Okay. I apologize if it's a little scattered. I'm going to do my best to stay on point. I am going to show you basically everything that I believe you should be doing as a beginner. Okay, let's get right to it. So, again, starting from zero, not going to use my bookmarks. The very first thing you should do is Google coin market cap. If I can spell, boom. You can see I've already clicked it because I'm a big fan. Make sure, just in case, this is a good tip, read the URL. Read it. Coin market cap. That's what you wanted, okay? Um, Open that bad boy up. Now, what this site does, Bitcoin might have a good buying day today. Um, Depending on, well, you want to start by, I think, understanding some of the biggest projects today. As a beginner, understanding what this stuff is, because there's a lot of really great projects in the top 50. A lot of great projects. I mean, honestly, I'd say I have probably half of these in my portfolio. Um, yeah, just in the top 50. And I've done exceptionally well, guys, so you don't have to get crazy. Okay. So basically, this is where you're going to go to get information on assets. Stick to the top 50 for now. That's what I recommend. All this stuff is going to be a lot for you. Literally, just stick to the top 50. What you want to do is control click however many you're willing to read about. We'll just do these four. When you're in each asset, because that's going to bring up a new tab. When you're in each asset, what you want to do is pretty much ignore this. This is what the market is saying. Like, this is a live feed of humans just basically tweeting at the asset, the equivalent of that. Where you want to navigate, we can look at this data at a different time, show you guys how to read this stuff and extract some value. There's better tools as well. You're going to want to click the website, the white paper, and the GitHub for every asset. I control click so it spins up, right? If you can find more links, that's better. Twitter, Reddit, right? Going through this is all valuable stuff. I would put this in intermediate. If you're a complete beginner, I think these three things are going to be all you need. Now, when I research Bitcoin, this is how you do your own research. The first thing I'm going to go do is look at this website. I'm just going to read. I'm going to try to understand it. Now, every time you run into a word you don't understand, maybe it's this peer to peer. Maybe you don't know what that is, right? So we're going to go to Google. We're going to type in peer to peer. And then we're going to, I like Wikipedia. You know, some people don't like it. Computer World's a good source. Investopedia is probably one of the best sources. Pop that bad boy open. Read as much as you need to. Okay? Then we go back to the website. It's not sexy, guys, but this is how it is. Okay, you understand what that is now. Okay, it's a way for people to send money. That's interesting. Choose your wallet. What's a wallet? You know, just clicking around, guys. Maybe you don't know what a full node is. So then you go back, you type in Bitcoin full node. What is that? You learn what peer-to-peer was, we can get rid of that. Here's where you're going to run into some computer science. This is, again, this is boring, but if you don't understand any of this, it's the same process until you finally understand what it is, right? That's just from the website, okay? The next thing is the white paper. This is more technical. You're going to do the same thing you did from their website. You're going to go through this and you're going to make sure you can absorb and comprehend everything by Googling as much as you can or asking AI as much as you can to understand any words or anything you see here that you don't fully get and you need a different format. Not everyone can learn by reading. Maybe it's going to YouTube and finding someone like me that explains this stuff in detail, right? There's great channels for that. After you've went through the website and the white paper and you've done the Googling of just Bitcoin to start, the last thing you can do is go to GitHub. Now, this is very technical. This is where the code of Bitcoin exists. For a beginner, the only thing you really are looking for is this. When was this stuff updated? We're on the master. That's going to be the default. The master is like the ultimate. That's the real code base here. How many commits does it have? When was the last commit? Oh, sorry. We don't need to go. I can get really into this, but that's really important. Another thing you can click on is activity. This is the core or the main. Click activity. You can see that it is very active. This is a good sign. In the top 50, you're going to see this. But when you get into assets that are not in the top 50, when you get to, you know, um, we'll just do industry. Now we'll do category here. And then we'll go find something that's, you know, okay. This looks like a complete garbage coin. I don't know for sure, but let's say you saw a TikTok and someone was talking about light years. Okay, I don't know anything about light year. Do you see this right here, guys? Do you see how different that is? That right there should tell you that you do not need to put any money into something like this. No one's actively working on it. No one's reviewed a commit in 4 years. Like simple stuff. You don't need to understand what you're looking at, but this is the basic information. You can see the difference here. Um, I just yeah. Hold on. We'll compare. Boom to boom. Or you see that? Very simple stuff, just to see if the code base is active, just to see if a developer is actually in there contributing his career and life's work. Those three things are going to save you a lot of trouble. If you can't locate the GitHub of a project and it's not on CoinMarketCap and run away. If it's a public, permissionless blockchain, it needs a public code repository for this to work and to have other people across the globe contribute to it. So if you can't find the GitHub, run away from it. Um, and then yeah, you basically work your way down the top 50. Just work your way down. Website, white paper, GitHub. That's it. GitHub to get used to reading it and figuring out what is good and bad. Same process as the website and the white paper. Okay, you're going to want to Google things you don't understand. And literally by the time you're down, I don't know how long that'd take, maybe 50, 100 hours of dedicated time to actually learn this craft. By the time you're down to, I don't even know what 50 is, Beam. By the time you're down to Beam and all the Googling, all the learning you did, you're going to have a good enough understanding of how to at least know. And again, this this is just this is just me talking to a beginner. Please do not jump down my throat. This is just a beginner. Okay, I'm making this for you. Once you go through those top 50, you're going to have a good enough understanding to do a big thing, which is identify a scam or not. Most people get scammed because they don't even know how to go to GitHub and see if it's a legitimate project or not. Most people get scammed because they read a white paper and they don't know what it's saying and they don't spend the time to understand it. Most of the time, people get scammed by reading a website that gets tweeted at them or going to a Twitter and going to the website, however they landed there, and just, oh, it looks great. This is a legitimate project. Da, 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 da. If you go on there and you read something and you understand what you're reading and you go, that doesn't make sense, you're ahead of 50% of the market. The bar is very low. Spend this time, spend the first 50, 100 hours going through the top 50, Googling every word, term, and sentence you don't comprehend until it's there enough to where you're like, okay, I don't get it, but I do at the same time. It's like, eh, you're on your way. It takes, I have 10 years of software development experience. You will not be able to pull the same amount of information I can with one read through. And that's okay. We all have our strengths. You're not doing this professionally. There's a different standard for you. If you're just investing as a beginner and you're trying to understand this space, I highly recommend you can do those three things and extract enough value out of it to make a better decision. Do this, reach out with questions, comments, however I can help. I'm here to help. If you have something interesting that you've read or something that, and then this is what this community is about. If you find something that is interesting or different or you just don't understand it and you'd like me to do a video on it and explain it, I would love to do that. I'm serious. Let me teach you. So do those things and just reach out. I promise you, if you commit to that, you're going to be in the top like 5%, 3%, 1% of crypto investors. I would say of all this retail new money coming in during this bull market, 90% give an asset 10 minutes, 30 minutes before they invest. I will spend anywhere from 10 to 30 hours per asset before I make a decision. And oftentimes I say no for, a multitude of reasons. But it takes me a while to pick a winner. And when I do, they tend to do well. Celestia, man, I got in on that around $2. I knew about it for over a year, waiting for the token drop. Didn't even know if they would have a token to drop. So proud of that team. They're crushing it. So this is exactly how I got to where I'm at. I have a hedge fund. I raise and manage millions of dollars. And in 2017, I started just reading. That's it. Boring, nothing sexy. Just put your head down and expand your mind. Beginners, coin market cap, top 50, website, GitHub, white paper. When that's done, I will take you to the intermediate level and make a similar video like this. That way you can go that extra step. And then I'll do an advanced, then an expert for you guys. So you guys hopefully have at least a framework of how to improve. That's really what I'm doing. I'm not releasing a course yet. It's just a framework of the steps in the path for you to complete. Because I think the hardest thing as you work on improving yourself is knowing what the next move is. Like what do I do now? I understand peer-to-peer networks. I understand distributing computing enough. I understand cryptography enough. I get it, and I know what's good and bad. Okay, but how do I know what will outperform the next thing? I know what's good and bad, so now how do I go through the good and identify the best? I would say that's intermediate, and I'll take you there next.